back to Firewood, fella. So today we're at a farmer's property here. We cut a maple tree here earlier this winter, and we were supposed to take down this cherry tree. We never got around to it on that day because that maple took a lot longer than we expected. So now it's getting close to planting season. He's still got the brush pile in the field here, so he's hoping to push that somewhere in the field and get that burnt. He's hoping we can get this this cherry tree down for him today as well. So we're going to cut up the branch here, and then attempt to take this nice cherry tree and possibly swing it into the field here.
And that is why they want this tree down. It was broken many times, but still a good piece of wood.
My brother's got plans with some friends today, so I'm by myself for the rest of the evening here. But I'm going to take all this cherry and put it in the payloader bucket here, and he'll just drop it right into the trailer for me, like you saw with the bigger stuff we picked up. I guess I didn't realize how rotten that center of it was, but the outside 6 inches all the way around it, it's really good wood, so we'll split it up and get what we can out of that and make some firewood out of it. I've been very fortunate to be able to meet up with the farmer here. I met him on, reached out to them on Facebook. They had a Facebook marketplace called for free firewood about a couple years ago, and I reached out, and I've been very consistent with them every winter. I've been trying to help them out, get some trees down and stuff like that, where other people have been so inconsistent. They'll show up, cut, and then the wood will lay there in the field, and all of a sudden they got a plant, and then you got stuff laying around and they can't get a hold of the guy doesn't show up. And then, you know, if you're just consistent with your farmers, you know, you can really work well with them. You know, makes it, you know, being able to use the equipment to be able to pull down the trees makes it a whole lot safer to do this sort of thing, and makes loading this stuff up way easier. I know if you were around from last year, we did a tree line for the same farmer here in a different field, and he was using his excavator and picking up the logs and setting them up on the trailer, and we were just removing all the sides in our trailer to make it a lot easier for us, and we just cut them up at home. But since we got the bucket here and he doesn't have the excavator here and he wasn't planning on bringing it here, figured to buck everything up, and whatever we don't want, leave it, and he'll push it into the brush pile and he'll burn it whenever he gets a chance. So it makes it a whole lot easier for everyone involved. It's a win-win situation for everybody, which is very fortunate. So we got the first load of cherry dropped off here, and I got the rest of it in that bucket as you saw, and the farmer filled up the trailer with the cherry, and then we had that maple tree we cut down in their yard a while ago, and they decided that they wanted the stump actually cut off flat. They were going to pay someone to grind it, and then they're going to plant another tree there or some flowers around it or something. I don't know. So I had to cut that down, and then they loaded up the rest of the maple that was there in the truck or in the trailer here from the job that we did back in like January now already. But we got more of that here, and we already had all that maple split up, and it's sitting behind the camera stacked, and there's 2 face cords of just the maple from that tree, or 2.5 I believe, and that doesn't include the trunk that we got here. So we got a couple more pieces in the first trailer, and then the rest of it on top here, the cherry. So we'll separate this and hopefully get the split in here hopefully this week. Got a couple orders already in for camping season already. Some people want some mixed hardwood, so I got to go through and double check to make sure what I got already here is going to be dry enough to sell here hopefully for the year. I really don't have a whole lot of inventory of mixed hardwood, but between what I picked up from the roadside of that ash and that poplar, I'll pull the poplar off the side and split the ash down, and hopefully within a month or two that'll be dry enough so I can start mixing that in with some of my other mixed hardwood. And then I got all this ash behind me here. The yard's filling up quick here of wood that needs to get split up now, and we don't have a whole lot of racks behind the camera left. And you'll probably see in an upcoming video here of the oak we took down today as well. I'll post that as a separate video because that's been a long process of taking that one down. It's a big 30-inch diameter oak tree that they're going to take some stuff up, so I was cutting on that today as well with the cherry. So look forward to seeing that. That's all I got time for today on Firewood, fella. Make sure to like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.